Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, January the 17th, 2023. Wednesday, January the 17th. Well, let's see what's going on in GH land, everybody. Let's see. Okay. We had the doctor that saw Mr. Muldoon 2 months before Finn saw Mr. Muldoon, and she was doing a consult on something else, so she was in the area. And then when she found out that Dr. Finn was being charged with malpractice, and she's like, "Look, you brought me here to give information on Mr. Muldoon, even though he's dead. There's still doctor-patient confidentiality. I can't divulge anything just to you." She says, "You're not following proper channels. If you want information, you need your attorney to contact me and my attorney," right? She was not stupid. So she says, and so this meeting is over. She gets up and Elizabeth says, Allow me, can I speak for a minute?" And so the doctor says, I value the opinions of nurses. So yes, I will hear what you have to say. So Elizabeth said, "We're not asking for you to violate patient confidentiality. What if we just speak in pure hypotheticals? Nothing nothing regarding this case, just hypotheticals." And she goes, "I can speak in hypotheticals." So she sat back down. And Finn said, "Okay, hypothetically, if someone came to you and presented the symptoms that Mr. Muldoon had presented, what is the general normal course of action?" And so she said, "I would screen, with him telling me what his complications are. I would screen, and knowing he travels a lot, I would screen for pretty much every possible thing." And he said, "Would you screen for cancer? Would that be part of your screening?" She said, "That would be my recommendation. I would give the patient a referral to go and get screened for the cancer. That's not any, she's like, that's not nothing she would do in doing her office. That's a referral thing. So it's up to the patient now to contact the referring doctor or the referred doctor and make an appointment." And she says, "So we don't keep track of that. That's for the patient. That's the patient's responsibility." She goes, "Oftentimes we don't hear anything back from the patients, but that's their responsibility." So Dr. Finn says, "Okay," because he clarified, "Would would the referring doctor call you?" He said, "No. The referring doctor would get a report back to me." She said, "But we don't keep a tally of everybody that we refer. We only get reports coming back in from the various patients that do follow through," which is understandable. You cannot remember every patient, right? So he said, "Thank you very much." Pretty much they got the information they needed. So she said, "You're welcome," and she left. So Finn and Elizabeth, where they're happy is this: there was a referral to oncology 2 months before Finn even saw him. And that doesn't make him negligent, because he told Mr. Muldoon he needed to come back and have additional tests. He needed to. And Mr. Muldoon did not follow through. So, you know, when Mr. Muldoon did decide to come back, see, now we're talking, this is 4 or 5 months since his original doctor that he saw gave him a referral. And so Elizabeth says, I wonder why the Muldoon family, are they conveniently overlooking that he had a referral months before he saw you? And he ignored it. And so Finn said, well, you know what? We're assuming they knew. That doesn't mean they knew. That does not mean he told them, which is true. This man obviously traveled. And he knew he was getting sicker, sicker, sicker. And he had, in fact, picked up a tapeworm and, all kind of things, right? So anyway, that was like a notch in the belt. So now Finn and Elizabeth are getting ready to track down the referring doctor. Who do they normally refer? Who does this doctor refer people to? Because they couldn't ask her that. Like, who'd you refer? Who do you normally refer to? They could find out. Who normally the doctor that gets the referrals from her practice or however she practices, right? So that's good. That was good news for him. Okay. So now let's see. Esme. Oh, she's coming to get her baby. And Spencer was like, well, you can't. What do you mean I can't? And she goes, he is my son and I'm coming to get him. And by the way, you're so busy abandoning him. You're going to abandon him to go to Paris with Trina. She is truly acting herself. And Spencer was just watching her. And he's calm. He goes, I wouldn't abandon my baby brother. I haven't abandoned my baby brother. So she goes, yeah, but you're so busy. You're going to go with Trina so much. She just, I'm thinking, there you go, Esme. There you go. And I'm getting myself right now. So she goes past him and he goes, Esme, stop. You can't. Why can't I? Because Ace isn't here. And she's like, what do you mean my baby isn't here? He's not here. You tell me, she was which I understand where my baby is now. And he goes, has he been kidnapped? He goes, no, he hasn't been kidnapped. He's with our father. And she goes, Nicholas is back? Now, yeah, amnesiac Esme did know his Nicholas's name, right? You gave my baby to Nicholas? And so she's like, that's kidnapping. I'm calling the police right now. She goes, well, for one, that's his father. And Spencer said, and two, go ahead and try it. Because now you're going to have to admit. That you got your memories back. See, because you broke into Windermere to get him back. Now you got him back. She goes, what makes you think I got him back? He goes, because I know you did. And then she flashes back to when she called him Spence. And she's thinking, oh, shoot. And he goes, that's because you called me Spence. That's not a name you would know to call me. He goes, that's not a name you've ever called me since you lost your memory. And that's the name you only called me, as Esme. Just because I called you Spence doesn't mean I got my memory back. He goes, Esme, you have your memory back. That has nothing to do with you giving my baby away. And she goes, I'm a good mother. And he said, the Esme that wasn't raised by Ryan Chamberlain to target people and destroy lives, oh, that Esme's not going to be a good mother. He goes, now, the Esme that lost her memory, yeah, yeah, you were a good mother to Ace. But no, not as Ryan's daughter, you're not. And then I'm surprised she didn't say, and Heather Weber. Oh, heck no, right? And so she goes, he was calm the whole time. Ah, and he's just like, nope, I sure did do it. He's like, yep, I did do it. So anyway, she storms out of there when he said, okay, go to the cops. See, because they're waiting to press charges once your memories have come back. And I'm going to tell them they come back. So she stormed out of there. Let's see. She's going to look. Esme's getting ready to be a tornado now. And okay, she rightfully so, her baby is gone. But when Ace was kidnapped the first time, how did she act? She was, can somebody find my baby? Somebody get my baby. Oh, this one here is, I'ma burn this sucker down if I don't get my child. Oh, there's a difference in the way she's acting. 100%. There is a difference. And so that's going to be good but I honestly believe Spencer's going to end up going to look for Nicholas. I believe that. I believe he's going to decide, you know what, I can't go through with it. Or he may tell Trina, because when Trina hears, I don't think Trina is going to be all for that. Nobody's going to be for it. Laura ain't going to be for it. Because Nicholas is not a reliable parent. He just isn't. And right now, like with everything he's telling Nicholas, oh, I know you did this. I know you were doing that. Look, let me tell you what you had for dinner last night. With a baby underfoot, he can't do what he's been doing. He's either going to go somewhere and dump that kid off. Because I tell you, he's not going to do the right thing by bringing him home tomorrow. So you know what? He's been crying the whole time. He's traumatized. I know I'm a better parent than the mother, but I want what's best for him. And it's arguable. It's arguable. Who's best for him? Who's best for him? Because trust me, for revenge, Esme would think nothing of cutting off all contact from Laura and Spencer, where Ace is concerned. But see, the problem is going to be Esme has a hard time handling taking care of Ace all on her own. And now this version of Esme, yeah, she remembers. Doesn't mean she forgot the amnesiac Esme, but the level of caring and loving care and concern, I just don't know that she's got it. Don't know that she's going to be able to display it, because see, she's going to be so busy making people pay and punishing all of that darkness and bitterness, and she's going to live at the jail to visit Heather, and the poor baby would just be influenced by it. So I don't know. That's tough. That's tough, everybody. So now let's go to the good stuff. Willow's working and Nina comes up right up to the nurse's station, and Willow says, wait, let me stop you right there. I'm working and I don't want to speak to you. Go away, Nina. Well, Willow, no. Not Willow. I know you're working. I understand you're working, but we need to talk. See, it didn't matter. It did not matter. We need to talk. She goes, I have nothing I want to say to you. Yes, no, there's a lot that we need to talk about. And she goes, Nina, I've asked you to go away. I am working. I know, but you just need to hear me out. Carly she's taken so much from me. You know, she kept both my girls. And so she's like, oh my, she's like raising her voice, and Carly and Drew walk up. And Carly's like, Nina, leave Willow alone. And I'm telling you, it was almost like the identical scene when Nina used to torment Willow, and Carly would come to Willow's rescue, right? And Drew is like, just your brand. Oh, Drew is saying whatever he's saying. And Nina looks at them and she goes, you've done enough. She goes, no, I haven't. I did what I did. I was blackmailed. No, you wasn't black. See, here's the thing. Her whole speech and what she said made no sense. Chick, you called the SEC. You dimed, snitched, sang like a bird, right? Nobody's blackmailing you for that. And so Willow says, oh, yeah, yeah. And I felt bad. I felt terrible for it. Yeah, but you allowed Drew to go to jail. Well, the only reason I kept I kept quiet as long as the secret, as long as it was, is because of Michael. And by the way, she did have to give a dig into Drew and Carly. Well, they did commit insider trading. She still, well, they did commit. And Willow just looked at her. But anyway, you know, because of Michael. Michael could have told, but Michael wanted to blackmail me. He chose to blackmail me. So blame the secret for being out as long as it was. Blame it on Michael. He wanted to blackmail me so it would limit the contact that I had with you. And Willow looked at her, probably says, you're a liar. So she goes, go ask him. You don't need to just go ask him. And Drew says, well, but he got to whisper, will. Yeah. So now Ned, at the Quartermain house, Michael's asking Ned back for his proxy. He goes, look, I gave that proxy with the stipulation of X, Y, and Z. And hey, secret's out. And Tracy goes, wait a minute. It might be out, but Ned lived up to his end of the bargain. He's not giving you nothing back. And Michael said, I want my proxies back. See, and me, I would have said no. Because see, from what I hear, you told Sonny, why should I give you back your voting share? And Michael said, look, I may be losing everything. I may be losing everything, but I ain't losing them shares. And look, they knew he meant business. And so Ned said, fine, I'll give them back to you, which I was shocked. He goes, fine, I'll give them back to you. And Tracy looked, she goes, you're going to do what? He goes, he can have them back. And so Tracy says, you are in whatever you in because of your actions. And he says, I did what I did to protect my family, to protect Wiley, Willow, and Amelia. I did what I did. Yeah, okay. I was blackmailing Nina to limit her access to them, the kind of person she is. And so Tracy looked at him and she goes, you know what, Michael? I have never been prouder of you. And Ned looked at her and Michael looked like, what? She goes, you exhibited what a true Quartermain would do. I'm proud of that. Your grandfather would be proud of that. No, because he's AJ's son. Your great grandfather, because she was talking about Edward, would be proud of you, Quartermain. And Michael looked like, well, shoot, that victory ain't that sweet then. My convictions don't sound that good. If Tracy is proud of me and she putting it like that, oh goodness, no, right? So as he was saying, I kept the secret for blah blah blah. He's saying why, his reasonings. And Sonny and Drew were already in the foyer because you know what? We don't need to knock. We don't need to ring a doorbell. There was no staff that let them in. They just walked up to the Quartermain house and walked right through the front door and walked right over to the living room area where Michael was talking. And Tracy looked over at Drew and Carly, and Michael turned around and he saw his mother and Drew. And Carly looked at him. And she looked at Tracy and Ned. She said, I need to speak to my son alone. And Tracy's like, oh, okay. Come on, Ned, let's go to the kitchen. So they go to the kitchen. Tracy's trying to eavesdrop and can't eavesdrop with carrots and hummus. Ned is sitting there having a stiff one because he's giving the proxy back, right? And he said, how much of that did you hear? She said, all of it. And I just want to know why, Michael. And he said, she goes, how long have you known? He says, since Dad's wedding to Nina, Sonny's wedding to Nina. And you didn't object? He said, I found out after they were married. And he says, Drew, you were already in prison. The damage was already done. And Drew said, so it was okay to just leave me there? He goes, you finding out who turned you into the SEC was not going to get you out of prison. And Mom, you were running Kelly's, you were moving out. Yes, you were missing Drew. And Dad, Sonny was happier than I've seen him in a long time. And Willow was starting to build this relationship. And Wiley, he goes, my best bet was now, how can I somewhat control Nina's access to them? And that's why I blackmailed her. I mean, Nina. And Drew says, we were supposed to be friends. He goes, we are friends, Drew. No, you don't see, you should have told me and Carly and let us make up our minds what we wanted to say or feel or do with the information, which is true. Drew still couldn't have got out of jail, but at least he would have known the slippery, slimy snake that put him there. Carly would have been turning Port Charles upside down, being Carly, because at that point, you know, they were looking for whoever did this, right? And he goes, you chose your father, Sonny, over me and your mother. I will not forgive you for that. And Carly's just actually standing back looking at Drew like, what's with this attitude? And not just the attitude. I understand the disappointment, but what's with this expression of anger? The way he was expressing the anger at Michael. And Carly's just looking at Drew behind him. And so Drew turns and he goes, let's go, Carly. And Carly looked at him and said, I'm gonna stay and speak to my son alone. And he stopped, he goes, fine. Oh, you know, okay. And he storms out of there. So now, tomorrow, we're going to get to hear what Carly has to say to Michael, right? But let's face it, y'all, she gonna forgive him. She loves him. She loves him. And honestly, Michael absolutely should have told everybody as soon as he found out. We've said that months ago. We already knew this is how things were going to come back to bite him. But did Michael keeping the secret hurt Carly? No. Did Michael keeping the secret hurt Drew? No. Drew had already pled guilty for Carly's crime. Now they wouldn't have had to go through all that, but see, that's Nina snitching. Michael finding out way after the fact, all the players were already set in different paths. The person it hurt is Willow. And why he didn't see that when he was going down that stupid, slippery slope, it was Willow. He allowed her to develop feelings for this woman. The way Willow is acting towards Nina right now is the way Willow would have reacted 4 months ago. Michael talking about, I wanted to limit. Willow would have limited it herself. See, he's an idiot. He let her make all her choices but that one. Even though he let her take building the relationship with Nina as slow as she wanted to or as fast as she wanted to. But once he found out that Nina broke her promise to Willis, broke this to Willow, broke the stipulation of you can't do anything, you got to stop coming after Carly, Michael should have sung like a bird. So anyway, Nina still, after Carly and Drew leaves, Willow, I still look. We gotta make it. Give me some more. Let me explain myself. So Willow takes her in an examining room, and she says, "Nina, go ahead and try to explain yourself." See, like I said, we can have a relationship. Yeah, I may have made some mistakes. But see, I acted. Carly kept me from both my daughters. She goes, Nell was already dead when Carly found out she was your daughter, Nina. Nina goes, well, I only have Carly's word for that. I'm sorry. Didn't Jax tell her to? The name that we don't ever speak in General Hospital? Jax told Nina. Because she talked to Carly and Jax together. Jax says, for one, we found out after the fact. She didn't believe Jax because she's so busy wanting to blame Carly. She goes, well, I only have Carly's word on that. Like, no. And she says, and two, what you did was just pure vindictiveness and spite. Pure vindictiveness and spite. And to a man who saved my life, well, like I said, I've made some mistakes, but look, all of that is behind me. I am not gonna act like I will, let Carly be. I've changed. She goes, no, I've heard that before, Nina. And no, you haven't. She says, let me just be 100% clear with you, just so you understand me. I'm done with you. Done. We won't be getting to know each other anymore. Everything you touch, you ruin. And I'm through with it. Well, no. Look, I did it because Michael, I did it because of your relationship. She tried to spin the fact that she let Michael blackmail her to stay away from Willow and her grandkids, but she let him do it for Willow and Michael. Because I knew how upset you'd be if you found out what Michael had done. So see, I did it for you. Oh my goodness, when you have a woman that tries to spin lies after lies after lies. The one thing they didn't have Willow say, because she turned around, she goes, oh, you did it for me in my marriage. Yeah, we're done, Nina. She should have told Nina, you did it for me and my marriage because you care about me so much. Then why is it not 10 minutes ago you told me and Carly was Michael's fault? Michael. Like, see, it was a whole contradiction what she said. Whole contradiction. Because she threw Michael under the bus to throw him under the bus. But yet she says, I let him blackmail me for you. Oh, come on, chick. Ain't nobody that stupid. Least of all, Willow. Least of all, Willow. And if it's one thing we know, everybody, Willow gonna give Michael what's up. Oh, he gonna be living at the main house for a long time because Willow ain't gonna play. This is January. By summer, they'll be back together again. But it's gonna take her some time. She's not gonna forgive him right off. But it's gonna take her even longer to forgive Nina. Because she sees Nina will always do things and then cover up and hide them. She does not have good intentions whatsoever. So good. I'm happy. And all Nina, as Willow's leaving, Willow. And she gets, the back of, she talked to the back of Willow's head. I will never give up on trying to build a relationship with you. See, there we go. And I'm here. See, same thing she told Sonny. I will never. Okay. Keep on, Nina. So now let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. I'm going to turn on my trusty, dusty stopwatch timer. 10 minutes because there's 40 comments. I will not be able to get through them all. Let's go. User KB says, I hope the baby cries and cries for Esme and the baby will come back. Esme loves that baby and she would never harm him. And then she says, I agree. I agree. It was because he did that because of Esme. He did, because Esme got her memory back. You're so right. If Esme, because of Esme, he did that. And I hate Spencer. I don't hate Spencer. I'm so mad that he did this. I could spit. So I'm very angry with Spencer doing it, but I don't hate Spencer at all, right? Because right now he's looking at this chick as the one that had my mind twisted all up. This chick here. So, and he knows how dangerous she is. He should not have done that. That was wrong. And then TR says, I agree that Spencer was wrong to take Ace from his mother and give him to Nick, who failed him and disappeared. Nick is a complete stranger to Ace. Nick will probably dump Ace onto nannies and now be raised alone. And now he'll be raised alone. That's what Spencer wants for him? Despicable. Nakisha says Eden was 18, okay, when she filled the scenes that she won the awards for. Okay. All right. So I stand corrected with that, y'all. All right. And there was a huge delay from when the time they actually finally did these Emmys. And okay. All right, y'all. You right. And then J Girl says, I was stunned and appalled. Spencer turned Ace over to Nicholas. Ace just met him. Lisa says, very well deserved for Susan Lucci. P. Merle says, yes, indeed. She will always be queen of soap land. Lisa says, I was talking about Curtis's uncle Marshall, Curtis's father, Marshall Ashford. That's Curtis's father. And I think you meant who won the supporting actor role, because I guess Nicholas Chavez was nominated for that, and Marshall won it. Lisa says, I think that Trina was rubbing it in that she was going to that they were going to Paris together. He is not worried about you and Ace. He wants to be with me. Ha ha. Yeah, watch. He's not going to go because now he's going to look for his brother. And then Lisa says, "Oh yeah, tell Sonny that Nina was in Cyrus's room making a deal with him. He needs to drop kick her through the door. I loved it when he told her to stay out of my life. I wonder that Nina, I wonder what Nina promised Cyrus to get him to drop those charges. Nina has no brain to yell. Dex's name in the hall about Cyrus. I know. Adam overdosing and his parents coming to town will not be good, but hopefully it will open their eyes to what they were putting him through. Spencer was so angry at Nicholas for the type of father he was to him. Esme getting so defensive about Spencer going to Paris with Trina, because that was the first thing she tried to lay in on Spencer with. Is how can you? And then Ace is better off with Nicholas than with the old version of Esme. I told you I'm torn with that, y'all. I'm torn with that. Aisha says, daily recap lady, Nina bought Cyrus a time slot so that he can have his own broadcast show. Oh, really? I'm assuming it's on public access TV, which has me wondering if the channel is part of the Aurora media. I don't know if it's supposed to be a one-time broadcast or a series, giving Cyrus a public platform to spout his twisted views, his twisted worldview and hatred. It's bound to backfire and make things worse. Of course it is. Nina just gave Cyrus the means to recruit and indoctrinate a following, that's so true, from among the residents of Port Charles. And that is a frightening prospect. He could be carrying on preaching, the preaching he was doing in prison, or perhaps starting a campaign to rid Port Charles of its criminal elements, which would mean Sonny, of course. The last thing Sonny needs is public scrutiny and media attention. I know Nina's so stupid, which tends to get in the way of his business operations and may even split over to affect his family. P. Merle says, wait, is that really plausible? Nina only has access to printed media, Crimson magazine. Surely Drew and Michael would never let Cyrus have a platform. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She would have to be going somewhere else. Somewhere else. Because that wouldn't work. Amy says, you are so much fun. I'm laughing my head off last night listening to you. You are spot on with this. Enjoy you. Wait, thank you. Enjoyed this so much. You're welcome, Amy. And then Mika Sandra says Marshall is Curtis's dad. NK Rose says, if the fisherman mentioned, Esme mentioned, is the real dad, who should play him? Will they ever bring that guy on screen? No. And then Mika Sanders says, what fisherman did Esme mention? Esme mentioned that it was a fisherman, a fisher boat that pulled her out of the water the first time that she threw herself over that or fell over that parapet, accidentally fell the first time, and took her to some Canadian hospital. So now, mind you, fished her out the water on a fisher boat, or she floated up somewhere. But instead of taking her to a near hospital in the States, no, let's take her to Canada. And NK Rose says, it's going to be real sad if Nicholas and Spencer went through so much nonsense and Ace is not a Cassadine. Oh, poor thing. And I could go for that. NK Rose says, Spencer's ruined his plans with poor Trina. And now she probably not going to Paris with him, with all his complications. Michael is going to break up Carly and Drew because she will forgive him after losing Bobby. Yes, Carly's going to forgive her son. It takes a lot for a mother not to forgive her child. And Michael didn't betray Carly. Michael withheld information from her, but he did not betray his mother. Came, Camelot says, Daily Recap Lady, I knew you'd be livid that cuteness was taken. I know cuteness is that. And we'd be deprived of his presence. Oh, I'm so hurt with that. He took to Nicholas immediately, and perhaps you'll feel comfort in in a baby's people intuition, showing Nicholas may have changed. Really? I think that was just cuteness delivering his lines to perfection, y'all. He knows how to carry a scene. Anyway, Camelot, Camelot said, Trina is too funny. Wait, she was too busy schooling Esme with her newfound confidence over her relationship with Spencer. And Catherine says, I'm with you. What the H? Nicholas giving Ace? Laura is going to lose her mind. Esme's getting her memory back has nothing to do with her parental rights. And I mean, right? I don't understand that part. Trauma Spencer just inflicted on his brother. Erg. So no one's going to acknowledge that Adam could be delusional. I have experience with this. Maybe his parents are concerned about his self-harm. Either way, if we want to tackle mental health issues, then do. And then Jackie says, I'm not mad at him. Esme's a psycho. And then Denzel says, 50-50 chance. I was kind of mad at Spencer, but at the same time, you got to understand that Spencer did the right thing to give the baby to the baby daddy Nicholas. That way, Esme won't raise him because Esme's memory has come back now. And that's just my opinion. I know because Esme would poison him like Ryan poisoned her. The only one that was sane about her kid was Heather when she dumped her off because she knew she couldn't do right by her. Coretta says Nicholas, who plays Spencer, was submitted for supporting actor, but he lost to the actor that plays Curtis's father. Yes. Clemmy says the awards were for the year before, so she was 18. And then Eduardo says Spencer erred in allowing Nicholas to take Ace. He doesn't know the child's needs. I'm with you on that. He sure does not. And then I am says instead of talking to Elizabeth, Spencer should have went to Portia after saving Adam. He should have. He should have went right straight in the office and said, look, let me report myself and let me tell you why I did it. And I would do it again. I am says, I'm livid that Spencer would give Ace to Nicholas Spencer. Spencer has done to Ace what the Cassadines did to Nicholas. As a matter of fact, Laura was locked in a tower for 4 years by the Cassadines, and they took Nick away from her. Yep. This story was lazy. Spencer knows Nicholas is the worst parent. He knows his father kidnapped Esme, and he can very well be charged with the accessory of a crime, kidnapping and aiding and abetting. However, Nicholas was never arrested or charged for the kidnapping because he disappeared. I'm disgusted. Spencer won't be going to Paris. And then Linda says, I've seen you. I seen you in the room with Cyrus, letting everybody know on that floor outside that Nina was in the room with Cyrus. LOL. Yeah, just as I told you how loud she was talking about Dex. You and Cyrus? Oh my God. Kim says, I'm about tired of Nina. So I want Sunny and Nina. Just wait. He wants Sunny to be done with her. Sunny to be done with her. I think he's not Sunny. I want Carly and Sunny to go ahead and get back together again. I won't call you to break up. Wait, I won't call you to break you out because I do not like Drew. Oh, I don't know what that means, Kim. Nina be on a whole lot of movies and really, I don't know that. I haven't seen that. Nina's been on a lot of stuff, right? That's quite funny. And you know what? I'm gonna kind of skim down Kim because it's actually after 10 minutes and I'm still reading Comment Corner, but I'm not gonna get to all of them. Pixie says, I'm angry with the writing. This this may be the end of Spencer and Trina. Yeah. And then Lisa says, I don't think so. Why would Trina be mad at Spencer for doing what he thought was right? Yeah, I just feel Spencer's not going to go look for him. I do. And then Kim's, Kim, let me go back down to DB says, um, I'm glad Esme got a taste of what she was putting our favorite Port Charles residents through. Good thing she has Laura to bring her up to speed. Ace is not a Cassadine unless he is kidnapped and someone messed with his mind um, at least once in his life. Oh, that's true, right? As Sabrina says, hi, Daily Recap Lady. I'm glad Spencer gave Ace to Nicholas. It's the best of two evils. Yes, Nicholas has a problem, but nothing compares to the vindictive, evil, conniving, manipulating Esme. Has no money except for what she pimps from Laura and Spencer. Nicholas is a man of means. Esme only cares about that baby when she needs to use him for what she wants. The new Esme, yes, the new Esme. All right, everybody, that's it for Comment Corner. Comment Corner, I've gone 15 minutes. So please go and finish reading all of everybody's phenomenal comments because you know what? Whether we like what Spencer did, whether we don't like what Spencer did, whether we like what's going on with Nina and Willow and Michael, Carly, Drew, we got something to talk about, y'all. And that's good. So let's keep it going. Let's keep corner going. I'll be back tomorrow for another daily recap of General Hospital.